Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Are you hanging in? I know these days are long.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm happy to be working, and it's one of the parts of the job.
Yep. Well, I'm happy to welcome you into my home for the first time. So that makes it unusual
Thank
this
you for
time
having me.
around. There is so much great action in this movie, but I feel like one of the most underrated action sequences involves you and Gal not tripping over her flowing white dress.
Yeah, I mean, Lindy Hemming did an incredible job designing everything in this film and in the last. Her costume designer, that outfit is just stunning. Gal looked so beautiful coming out of that car. Even in the trailer, I see it, and I'm just like a gaga. Um, but yeah, it was a train, something to be dealt with.
The sets are just delicious for those of us who are 80s kids, but it made me curious, what did your room look like in the 80s? What posters did you have on your wall? What books did you have stacked next to your bed?
Um, I had a Bob Marley poster. Definitely had a Marilyn Monroe poster. Um, a signed Elvis photo that my mom had from somewhere in her family. Um, what books were by my bed? I was a really good student, by which I mean I was like a very I was a very I was a pretty type A kid. So probably every book that I had to read that I was reading, I was not all that rebellious,
Got
unfortunately.
it. So no like choose your own adventures. You were doing whatever you were assigned at school.
Yes, very much.
Okay. I
Yeah.
can respect that. um, I know everyone is probably talking to you about this, but your wardrobe in this film, in a certain instance at least, is quite remarkable. There's always merch that comes out from these movies, so I'm wondering what could we bring back via Steve in 1984? Members only jackets, fanny packs. What would you
I
suggest?
feel like yes, I have been asked that question, but I feel like firstly, members only jackets, they haven't, it's not like they've gone out of style. They've always like there's been somewhere, someone along the line keeping that alive. And whether
That's
it's
true.
a grandfather or whether it's like a kid in Silver Lake who's wearing it ironically, it's happening somewhere.
So
In the fanny pack, yes, agreed. It probably did go out of style at one point. But I would posit I'm in Europe right. I'm in London, and there are a lot of people doing a fanny pack thing, whether it's over a shoulder or like a Louis Vuitton thing. It's very kind of au courant, as it were.
well, then perhaps you can use your platform to make it as au courant here in the United States again.
I
Just
plan to, amongst
yeah,
other things. I got a lot of big plans for 2021, and making fanny packs au
top of the
courant
list.
is
Right.
top of the list.
I have to say, watching this movie, one of the things that I loved the most, but also blew my mind the most, was how completely relevant the script and messaging was for right now.
Mm.
So you guys were shooting this a couple of years ago. You couldn't, none of us could have known what 2020 was going to look like at the very least. Do you get that when you watch it now? Are you surprised by how super current it is for this moment?
Yeah, I guess I'm like I would say, unfortunately, I think it'd be current now. It'd be current, would have been current 5 years ago, would have been current 20 years ago, would have been current in the 80s. But certainly there are aspects to it, especially after the kind of year that we've had. It feels, like kismet that we're finishing off the year with it, that after such a difficult year and so much division, so much partisanship, so much BS, so much negativity, so much cancel culture, so much of certain people in leadership positions in places in our country, et cetera, that to finish this year with something like this feels very special and very hopeful. It feels like, okay, great. Now we can latch on to hope and love and kindness and compassion and all of these wonderful qualities, the best parts of humanity instead of the other parts of humanity, which we all, seem to drag us down sometimes.
I couldn't agree more. So here's to 2021 feeling more like the end of the film than the middle.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you so much. Stay well. Enjoy London. Please take a walk on Regent Street for me.
I will do. Well done.
Okay.